What is up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be going over several shockwave tips and just explaining how shockwaves work in general and how I like to use them in Fortnite, because I've talked about them several times throughout many different videos, but I've never made a video just specifically focusing on shockwaves themselves, as well as showing some advanced tips with them and how I like to use them. If you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and comment down below if something like this helped you. Because I feel like there's a lot of items in Fortnite where it's kind of basic to me because I've been playing the game for so many years and I've been playing the game as a lot of these items were added. But I know many of you came in with zero builds, so you're kind of having to play like catch up with how some of these items work. So if you would like to see this or videos like this for other items that are in the game, please let me know down in the comments below, like if you found this helpful. Also, if you would like to use me for a supporter creator, it is just Evolve Jake. It's underneath the webcam at all times. So shockwaves are grenades that are used as mobility options. You can use it. Basically, it's like, imagine it like a 360-degree ball of energy that just forces everything away from it, and it'll kind of mimic your movement. So if you throw one behind you and you're moving forward, it'll propel you forward. Doesn't always mimic your movement, though, because it mimics your movement if you're going away from it. If you throw one right in front of you, it's going to send you backwards. And that is essentially how shockwaves work. Just imagine it forces everything away from it, and if you are going in the direction away from it, it will propel you and you'll get a decent amount of energy going from there. As of right now, there's two NPCs on the map that sell them. The Sunbird at Sunny Steps, and then also whatever NPC spawns at this little shack out here on the left. Those are the two spots where you can buy shockwaves from an NPC, but you can also find them by looting. NPC loot changes from week to week or update to update, so it's possible that more NPCs will sell them in the future. And I said earlier that shockwaves kind of mimic your movement, and what I mean by that is if you're just running or just walking forward, it'll just send you forward. If you jump when you do it, it'll send you flying more in like an arc to mimic your jump. So whatever your movement is, it kind of like takes that to the next level. And you could use this to your advantage. Like I said, if you want to go further, you can end up jumping. If you shockwave off a high area, like let's say you build a few ramps and then shockwave up, or if you're just on a mountain or on a house and jump beforehand, you're going to end up going further than if you were just on ground level. And that's actually really beneficial. I think the best way to imagine it, like I said, is just that it mimics whatever your movement is. If you're jumping, it's going to send you in an arc. If you're just running, it's going to just send you straight. If you throw it on a flat wall and all it has is like the horizontal movement and none of the vertical, it's just going to send you straight. And that's going to matter if you're trying to shockwave into a building and end up behind somebody, but you don't want to end up above them. If you throw it on a flat wall, you're just going to end up going straight. So what you do, how you're moving, and what you're doing with your movement as far as like sliding, running, jumping, all of that matters when it comes to shockwaving. And you can shockwave all of your teammates at once as well. It's just really awkward to do so. I feel like if you're in a pinch and you need to do it, like let's say you're on a mountain and you need to get down, I think it's best to just kind of tell everybody to slowly move in the direction they want to go and then throw it at the ground and just hope for the best. It can be awkward to shockwave teammates, but what I've found best is just to like have them go forward a little bit and go in the direction they want to go. That way the shockwave is more likely to just mimic their movement. If you throw it down at the ground and you guys are all in a circle around it, you are all going to go separate directions. So you kind of all want to be on the same side of it, going the direction that you want to go. In Season 3, one thing they added was the extra slide. When you shockwave, I think even if you use the grappler and then slide afterwards, like the moment you land, you end up going really fast. And this is really nice if you want to push somebody with a shockwave and you don't quite get where you need to go, or if you're running from somebody or running to zone, just shockwave and then slide, and you end up going really fast. Another thing they added in Season 3 was the bunny hop, and you can kind of combo this with the slide to get even further from your slides. I'll have a clip of it on screen now, but you basically shockwave and then land in a slide and then let that slide go a decent amount and then bunny hop and then slide again and then bunny hop and then slide again and then bunny hop. Basically, you separate each slide with a bunny hop and it kind of resets your momentum to an extent. This obviously doesn't work forever, but you get like 3 slides out of a shockwave instead of just like 1. And the way that you bunny hop, it's really hard to describe. You kind of just got to play around with it in game and in creative to really get a feel for it. But basically, you slide and jump at the same time is how I would describe it. So you just hold your slide button and then immediately jump, and your character kind of goes into a slide, but you immediately hop up, and that's what allows you to kind of reset your momentum to an extent. So that's the basics of how shockwaves work. Now we're going to get into some more advanced tips that you can use to your advantage to get more kills and more wins in Fortnite. One of the most beneficial things of shockwaves in the zero build mode, or just in build mode even, is to shockwave people off of high areas. And this is really good because, like I said, in the zero build mode, I'll have a clip of it on screen here where it won me a game. it could be really awkward to fight somebody in the zero build mode sometimes because you don't have builds. You end up in a lot of situations where you and the opponent, if you're close to them, are just trading damage with each other. So if you have a guy on a hill and you want to push them, it's kind of best to just shockwave yourself up, like just straight vertical. You throw it at the ground right under yourself and jump, and you're going to go straight up because, like I said, the shockwave mimics your movement. And then once you're in the sky, you throw one at them because they're on the mountain or whatever you want to control, and then it throws them off of that structure. And if you're in game, this is going to oftentimes send them into storm, which is going to be really impactful for them. They're going to be taking storm damage. They're probably going to be panicking because a lot of people aren't used to it. This also really worked well with the blimps in the past. If you had somebody camping on top of the blimp, you could shockwave yourself straight up and then shockwave them off of it. If they were on like that upper platform of the blimp. So if you have somebody camping on a mountain or camping on a rooftop or just on some high structure and you don't want to just shockwave onto them and create a really random fight, you can shockwave yourself up to it, and then as you go, shockwave them off, and then you have the mountain or the house or whatever for free. They're in the storm, they're responding to what you did, and oftentimes they're going to mess up. You can also use it to get people away from you, which is really nice. If you're in one of those awkward spots, like I said, you can just throw it at them and they're going to be sent elsewhere. And that's really good in situations where like maybe you're getting third partied and your gun isn't loaded or you don't have enough HP to fight. You just feel like the fight's really awkward. Maybe they got a good engage on you. Just getting them away from you can oftentimes save your life, especially if it is late in the game, because they're going to get third partied by somebody else. Probably a lot of zero build end games just result in like everyone kind of like chain third partying each other. So shockwaving people away from you can be beneficial. You can also shockwave people out of bushes and off cover. If someone's hiding behind a tree or something and you can't quite see them, you can throw a shockwave at them and it'll force them away from their cover, and then you can fry them and get the easy kill. Obviously, this is something that you'd want to do sparingly because shockwaves are very valuable, so you don't want to just be wasting them on people all the time. But if you're in like a 1v1 situation and you have 5 shockwaves left and maybe you just fried the guy and now he's behind a tree healing, shockwave them out of there, easy kill. Same with bushes. You can shockwave people out of bushes, and I use this to check bushes sometimes in game. But like I just said, you don't want to just waste all of your shockwaves checking bushes. If there's like 2 or 3 bushes in zone and I have 6 shockwaves, then sure, maybe I'll shockwave check some of them. But if I only had 1 shockwave, I probably wouldn't use it on that unless I knew for sure that the person was in the bush and maybe I had them weak or something. The only time you would really want to do either of those things is when you know that you have like shockwaves to spare. The next few tricks are going to be ways that you can get into people's box using shockwaves. And this is really beneficial because it's just kind of hard counters the metal walls. And at any point in the game, I want to be carrying shockwaves. I really like carrying shockwaves. I think they're one of the most overpowered items in the game. And if I'm in a fight with someone who boxes up, our shockwaves just immediately hard counter them. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be shockwaving into their box using a floor. So you can edit your floor like this. You just edit one tile of it. And if you're standing on their box, you can throw the shockwave at the little like wooden part that's edited, the part that's like flipped up, and then drop down. And as you do it, it shockwaves you into the box. This one is awkward to do, and I just kind of I'm showing a bunch of these because I feel like some of these are like awkward for some people to do. So just whichever one ends up working best for you is the one that you're going to want to do. So you edit the one tile, throw the shockwave at it, and then drop down. I find this one to be pretty difficult, and compared to some of the other ones, I don't know why you would ever want to do this. The next one that involves floors is you just connect your floor to their wall that you want to exploit in at, and then just throw the shockwave straight up at yourself, and it'll shockwave you in usually. You're mainly using the downward momentum of the shockwave to get in. You want to be standing still for this as well because, like I already said, it mimics your movement. If you're moving backwards as you do this, it's going to send you too far. You just want to throw it to where it's kind of like diagonal, but it's going to send you straight down towards their box. Even though you're on flat ground, that it basically just sends you down, but there's nowhere to go down, but you have the shockwave effect, so you break the metal wall. And this works just for getting in people's boxes normally as well, obviously. So that one's really easy. The next one is just just like how any other exploit works with ramps. You edit the ramp to where it'll force you through their box, and then you throw the shockwave at the ramp and it sends you through. This one is also really easy. And you can do this from an equal level to the opponent, and you can also do it to go straight down. I should have clips of both of them here, but if you're one level above them, put a stairs in your box, throw the shockwave in between the stairs and you, and then it'll send you straight down. I feel like this is a little bit better than not using the stairs and just using the floor if you want to go straight down, because I feel like whenever I use the floor, I end up going too many levels down and it gets awkward. Whereas when I use the stairs and then I go straight down, I end up usually just going one layer down, and that gets me in their box. And the only time you would really want to do this is if you have the person weak and you know they're just popping like minis or something in their metal box, and you know that once you just get in, you're going to be able to kill them for free. Another one you could do with floors is you go one box diagonally, edit one tile like how we did before, and you just throw it in there and it sends you into their box really easy. You just throw it into the corner where the two pieces of wood intersect, or whatever material it is where the two pieces intersect, and it sends you straight in. This is probably the easiest one, but it takes the most setup, so I guess that's kind of, you know, how it goes. This one is the most extra to set up. You make one box diagonally to theirs and then throw it, and it sends you straight into the corner. And this one is really easy to do. Takes more setup, but I feel like it also is like kind of the most reliable in that I've never had this happen where it sends me too many boxes away. Whereas some of the other ones, whether or not you're moving or standing still, will end up affecting whether or not you go too far. And I feel like one aspect of it is just kind of random. Sometimes you end up going further than others. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. Those are just some ways that I like to use shockwaves in both the zero build mode and normals. Being able to counter those metal walls is especially helpful, because whenever you have someone really weak, they just start hard turtling with those. It's always so frustrating to deal with. But I recommend carrying shockwaves all the time, and shockwaves help with that situation as well, like many others. If you guys found the video helpful, informative, give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below if you did find this helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.